everyone, my name is Mnyeni. I'm a transformation life coach, and I am going to take you today through a short lesson about effective communication, because it's one of the things that we fail ourselves with in life in terms of just presenting ourselves. We communicate and we think we're doing it better, but when we see the results, then we find the fact that we didn't really communicate better. Communication most of the time involves a number of things. It's not just talking. It's not just saying something to somebody. But today I'm going to take you through just a few pointers that are going to help you to communicate yourself a little bit better, so that when you are putting yourself out there, you will know that you've done a bit of learning about communication, and then you're gonna do a great job about yourself. Now let's get into it. Communication involves a few things. Only 77% of communication is words. Only 7% of communication is words. About 38% of communication is vocal qualities, in terms of what do you sound like. When we say words, when you say hi, that is a word, which means it only plays 7% of your communication. Then how you said hi plays 38% of that hi itself. And then the 55% of it is now the body language. Just said hi, and you just walked past. Then I know, and I start to learn, and I start to read in terms of you wanted to, or you didn't want to, or you just did it because it's a matter of you, the fact that I'm here, I'm in front of you, so you have to do it. So 55% of our communication is body language. And the biggest part of communication in the process now, it takes, which means the rest of it takes out 93%, and the rest is words, which then takes the smallest percentage of it, which is just what you say. But most importantly, how do you say it? How confident do you look when you say it? And how sure and assertive are you when you say it? Now, communication includes, somebody would say communication includes two people. But I want to say to you, maybe at this time, let's use an example of two people, which means in communication, there's a sender of a message and there's a receiver of a message. Most of the time, the receiver is the one that gives the feedback. The sender is the one that is sure of the message that they are sending. It means that communication has four elements, which is sender, the messenger, the receiver, and the feedback giver. Now, if you are going to be communicating, ensure that you are ready for these four things. Be ready that the sender will tell you their true self and their true feelings. Be ready that the message that you're going to receive might not resonate with you, might not be something that you're going to like. Also be ready for feedback. In communication, many people just want to say what they say and they want to leave it at that and go away. Be ready for feedback and be willing to take on feedback. Now, what do we communicate the most? Mostly, we communicate our thoughts, we communicate our feelings, we communicate incidents in our lives. We are always so ready to share. What happened to me? This is what happened to me. I want to tell you. Oh, please, friend, call me. I need to tell you this. So we communicate incidents in our lives. We communicate our fears. I'm so scared. I'm about to do this. I'm so scared. I went to a place like that. I'm scared of the dark. I'm so scared of this. We communicate our fears. Communicate our dreams, what we wish to be, what we want to be, what we think we are going to be. So we communicate the things that we think about ourselves. And we also communicate dreams, like just dreams when you're sleeping and you dreamt of snakes. You wake up in the morning, you're screaming and shouting and loud at everybody, and anybody asks you, what's wrong with you? I just saw snakes. But when everybody looks, there was no snakes. You were communicating your dreams. We also communicate our desires. Most of the time, we communicate our desires to our loved ones, where we say, I wish you would talk to me in this particular way. I wish you would look at me in this particular way. I wish you would have known that at that time I needed you more. So we communicate our desires as well. Now, when it comes to communication, in communication as me, if you look at my head right now, there is an external world. There's an internal world in terms of what I think. And then there is where I create meaning of what I'm hearing. And then there is an external behavior, which is then what I tell you afterwards. Now, what is an external world? An external world is all the words that you hear, all the color that you see, all the people that you see, all the conversations that you see. All of that includes your external world. That is what you see all the time. And all of that includes, because you use your eyes to see it, you smell it with your nose. Like my son, the minute he smells KFC, he knows that it's KFC. And I haven't even seen KFC around, but he is so sure that there is KFC around because his nose has told him so. We also use our taste, which is our tongue, to say, this is what this is, because most of the time you're not told that something is ugly or something is bitter, but you make your own decision that something is ugly and something is bitter. Now, inside ourselves exist our filters. Now, those are things that now, everything that I receive from the external world, I start to filter inside myself to say, from my beliefs, from my conditioning, from my values, from my attitude, from my language, from my memories, from my culture, what I've seen, what does it mean? That is why we always clash in communication, because we always believe that things mean the same to all of us, and it's not true. Things don't always mean the same to all of us because our internal filters are not the same. How we grew up is not the same. What we've been told is not the same. What we've been taught is not the same. So when it gets to me, if somebody, like for instance for me, if somebody, at a point when somebody said I was beautiful, I would simply know that they were blatantly telling a lie. Why was that? Because every time when somebody said I was beautiful in the presence of my mother, she would actually say, Gopi, where is she beautiful? There is just no way. Don't tell my child that. Don't fill my child with that kind of attitude. There's no child that is beautiful here, So for the longest time, I grew up believing that when it comes to beauty, other people are, but I come somewhere in the mix of everybody else. So what I'm trying to say is that our internal filters create meaning for us. That's every word. Somebody says they love you, but because you're not used to it, or because to you love means money, or to you love means care or security, or you've heard your father say they love your mother, but you've seen them slap them at the same time, then it creates a different kind of meaning of love. So internally, we have what we call filters, which now become places where things are created into meaning. And then our also internal world also now gets to a place where we learn to delete. So when we filter, we learn to now, as we grow, you learn to delete. What somebody has said and does not resonate with you, you learn to say this goes to the delete box. And then this goes to the distortion box. I'm going to think about it, but not now. I'm going to consider it, but not now. And then others go on to generalization. You were just making me a general person, which is good. It's okay. You generalized me. I'm fine with it. How we create meaning to all of this internally and within ourselves is very important because it affects how we react to things. When we've created a meaning, it creates a reaction. The minute somebody tells me, no, you were good in what you were doing, but you could improve there and there, if you're not ready to receive a feedback of that such, and you create a meaning that says, nah, they're just hating on me, or oh, I didn't do well, that meaning that you've created is bound to either let you down in a way that it allows you to not ever do that thing again, or that meaning creates an attitude to you that says that person is not for you, or the meaning creates hate, where you release words to somebody that says, why do you care? Why were you even listening? I wasn't talking to you. So it's important what our filters are within ourselves so that we can create great meaning. Communication challenges, there's quite a number of them. I'm going to run through them. Communication challenges, challenge number one is mind reading. We think we know what other people are thinking. Nobody knows what somebody is thinking. Nobody. You can be married for 20 years. I promise you, even today, I still ask my husband when he's sitting there and he's quiet, I still ask him, what are you thinking? And he says nothing, and I'm like, no way. Not until I saw that some advert on TV that was advertising some insurance company that I'm not going to mention, and they said that men put stuff in boxes and men have a nothing box. And then I was like, okay. That's where he usually is when he says nothing. He's in the nothing box, and then I got to be comfortable with the nothing box. Another second challenge to communication is being Mr., Mrs., know-it-all. No one can learn when they believe they know everything. No one learns when they believe that they know everything. Be willing to say that I don't know. Teach me. I don't know. Let me know. Another communication challenge is self-righteousness. You think you're better. You think you know better. You think you're holier. You think you are special to everyone. So it's hard to communicate with you. Even when you start doing wrong things, we can't tell you because you're so high up there. We can't reach you. Misunderstanding. Other people, I know what you mean. Somebody's trying to say something to you, but I know what you mean. Wait for somebody to tell you what they mean so that you can understand clearly what they mean. Another communication challenge is not listening or listening to answer. Many of us, we're listening to respond. I'm listening to you, but I can't wait for you to finish because I know exactly the words I want to hit right back with you. So it's a challenge when it comes to communication. Learn to listen to the person, and when you've listened to a person, know that you need to internalize what they've said before you respond. You don't have to respond immediately. Another communication challenge is articulation. When it comes to articulation, many people believe that I have a right to say what I want to say at a time I want to say it, and whoever I want to say it. And unfortunately, many people have lost jobs, have lost business deals, have lost relationships, broken relationships, because they thought that they can just say whatever at a time whatever they want to say. Another one is sarcasm. Instead of telling somebody the truth, you become sarcastic. Instead of receiving what is being said to you, you become sarcastic. Another one is preconceived ideas. You've got a preconceived idea about somebody and you are unable to receive the information of the communication that they are trying to give to you. And one of them that I have suffered the most with was shut down. I used to totally shut down The minute I hear somebody say to me, you didn't do well, I would literally shut down until I learned that you've got to give yourself time and you've got to give yourself space to listen to what the person has said and learn. The last one being pre-informed ideas. You think you know, you think you've read, you think your degree makes you better. Sometimes it's not the degree, it's not the book you've read, but it's wisdom that just came from another person and they are sharing it with you, and you are at a blessed space where you can receive it. Now, before I close, 5 tips of communication. Communicate relentlessly. Don't get tired to communicate yourself. Number 2, simplify and be direct. Simplify what you want to say and be direct. Number 3, listen and encourage to receive input. Ask people, what do you think? Not because you are unsure, but because of what you've done, like if it's a presentation, ask people, what do you think, so that they can give you. And then affirm yourself before you act. Learn other people's communication language. We are not the same. We are not the same. We are never going to be the same. Somebody communicates by buying you flowers when they say they're sorry. And you wish they would have said they're sorry, but they decided that flowers do say sorry. So at some point you need to learn that flowers mean sorry to them. So I receive it, okay? Listen to people so that you can learn how they communicate. Be considerate to what a person is going through so that you can learn how they communicate. Be patient. Talk constantly. Sometimes it looks unnecessary or feels unnecessary, but do try to talk constantly. And always talk in love. When you say something, say it in love. Don't ever say something to somebody in hate or to destroy them. But when you speak in love, no matter how harsh the words you are saying, but when you speak in love, you are able to get through to the person that you are talking to. In closing, be pure of thoughts. Thoughts create reality. So what you think about the next person will make them exactly what you think they are to you. I want to thank you for staying with us today. I want to ask you that you subscribe to our YouTube channel, you follow us as well. My name is Nompumelelo Mnyeni, and I've had a great time with you. Thank you.